About 10 past and I'll come back. Yeah.
So we are live, guys. Welcome everybody in the chat that's going to hang out with us. I think it's going to be about an hour stream, right? So what are we doing? What is this all about? We put a link out in the mixologist group, and we asked them, everybody in the mixologist group, what they want to see in a live mixing show, and they all voted for tropical fruit juice. Last week, we had a couple of concepts. It was the concept show, and after the concept show, I posted out. Just mute, guys. Sorry. I posted out a couple of recipes in description, right? And so you can find those recipes out in the description of the previous video, but we'll be going through them one by one. And after I've added all the notes in the description, I'm also going to add the recipes in there so you can really check what the feedback is. Some of the people that's in chat probably mixed up some of the juices as well. Maybe everybody isn't here right now. For everybody that mixed up some of the concepts that's not here right now, you can just put your comments down in the comment section, and we'll take note of that. And the whole idea is to create this thing together, right? To get some tropical realness going. Okay, so first things first, guys. Philip, aka Kind Ground, has had terrible news. He's got, he's got diagnosed with stage 4 cancer, and there's a GoFundMe for him. Of course, he's part of the DIY community, and what we're going to try and do is there's going to be a live stream. I'm not sure if that's going to be, I think it's going to be from Daytime Frank's channel, and there's more information about that is coming. But yeah, there's going to be raffles that you can buy, and all of this money, all of the, and stuff that you can win, and all of this money is going to go towards Kind Ground. So it's a good cause. If anybody has that link, you can just drop that in chat, and I'll approve that. It'd be cool. I don't have it here with me right now, but I'm going to put it in the description of this video. So let me just welcome. Some of the team members are not here right now, but they will be joining us. Rudy said he'll be here in 15 minutes. Deet said he might actually make it tonight, but he wasn't 100% sure. But the people that are here is Moe. Moe is here. Welcome, Moe.
How's it, everyone? How are you doing today? Hope everyone's having a good Mother's Day, afternoon and day. Yeah.
And then we've got Sherlock Ohms here from the UK. Welcome, Liam.
Hey, everyone. Thanks for joining us.
I think today is going to be one of those shows where we pretty much do all the testing live. This, after all, is just an excuse to mix up some stuff and talk about it in a live stream. So yeah, let's see who's joined us. Devet Gates, how's it? We've got Julia. Julia, it's so nice having you in chat. Thank you so much for joining. Julia's from Chefs, or she's got a chef's gig, as well as Liam, if you didn't know. Michael Morris, Papa Chigley. I'm so glad Papa Chigley is here because, there was some testing that we assigned to Papa Chigley. Stalker's here. BBXX2000XX, welcome. The Vaping Lizard, welcome. Lady Loves Vapor, Kristen Lee, Brits. Nice to see you guys again, man. Him and I Vapory. Hello. How's it, everyone? I think we're probably going to have more people hop in. So let's talk about just some new recipes and some new gear and stuff that we have gotten in.
Richard in the house.
Oh, Richard, welcome, Richard.
Richard, he just sneaked in. He loves doing that.
Hello.
Welcome, Richard.
Hello.
I actually had no clue you were joining tonight. So It's nice to have you here, dude. Always.
I'm like Donald Trump. I pitch up uninvited and ruin proceedings.
Okay, so yeah, one new thing that I've been vaping is this little guy here. Of course, it's a commercial juice, but I do support the local commercial scene from time to time, just to get an idea of what's happening in the DIY scene, and also keeping my eyes out on what's happening in the commercial scene. I'm sure this is not a very new juice, but it's somewhat new. This is an MTL custard called Game Changer by Cloudworks. And it's a 9 milligram, and I have been enjoying, the hell out of this. It's almost finished, and that normally doesn't happen for me with commercial juice. I can really recommend it for the guys in South Africa. It's a really delicious sweet custard, vanilla custard. Have you guys got any new gear or any new recipes that you want to recommend?
I have a pod. There's my pod.
That looks like a twist.
It's a Vadin RE.
Okay.
I have a 5 milligram juice in here, which means I am totally stoned on nicotine at least half the time when I puff it. 5 milligram actually isn't too bad. I don't think I could handle the 50 or 40 milligram. But this is just 5. I mixed it myself. If I condensed milk for the win.
FA condensed milk. Wow, that's interesting. Isn't it like really a real hectic type of concentrate?
FA condensed milk is ridiculous. You have to make a dilution of it if you're using it in a dripper. But for a pod, I just bang in 1%. I mean, I put in other stuff as well, but I can't.
I think the guys were talking about it on the Black group, and some guys just were posting that emoticons where they're like puking because they said it's bad.
Yeah, condensed milk's hectic, man. If you use this in a dripper, you'll be in trouble. But for a pod, it's great. It actually registers pretty nicely.
Cool. I haven't been vaping anything new, just some mango pineapple. Tried out the pink guava from FLV. It's freaking amazing. I didn't know it was that good. Yeah.
Good morning.
Hey.
How's it, Rudy? Yeah.
What's up, Rudy?
Sorry. Better late than never. How's it?
Yep.
Sorry. Airport run. I'm back.
What's up, Rudy?
What's up?
Hey,
Good. How's it?
Rudy.
How's it, Rudy?
Good, thanks. Good.
Rudy with his new tattoo.
Indeed. I've got a pain, but I'll survive. It's just sore for 2 days.
Awesome.
Yeah, go for it, Liam.
I was just going to say I've been enjoying my my purple summer recipe that I released about a week ago. It's lavender lemonade, lavender and blueberry lemonade. So I've been enjoying that. But I'm also trying out one of my fellow juice creators, short fills from Chefs, Ravens Brew. It's called Eleanor. It's like a dessert tobacco, where it's not an RY for dessert. So I've been loving that at the moment. A little bit of a tobacco vape for a change.
Yeah, somebody was saying something really interesting in one of the comments, on the videos. They were saying it's so weird that with tobacco vapes, you never get bored of them, but then with all the fruits and all the custards and desserts and stuff, you want to switch out almost every 3 or 4 hours. It's become quite hectic switching between them. You just rotate them the whole time. But with tobaccos, it feels like I can go a whole week with just one recipe, and I'm actually quite happy with that. Is anybody else experiencing that?
Yeah, you don't get sick of tobaccos. I mean, we all smoked the same brand for like 20 years, right? And we didn't swap them. I mean, who's vaped the same juice for 20 years? Nobody.
Yeah, it's so bizarre, but I can definitely relate to that. Imagine how weird it would be if we did actually try out new cigarettes all the time. Did anybody do that?
I used to every now and again, but normally it was a monetary thing. So if I was a little bit short, I go for the cheaper brand, or I go for rolling tobacco. But yeah. Nowhere near as much as I'd swap out flavors now vaping. Even with tobaccos, I'll vape the same tobacco for 2 or 3 days, but I do that with fruits and custards and everything, and then I'll swap. I might swap to a different tobacco, but I still swap.
Yeah, I think oh, sorry, Richard.
I think it's a metabolism thing. You know, your body doesn't interpret tobacco as food, as nutrition. Whereas, you know, strawberry, blueberry, whatever you're vaping, even though it's not natural, it'll still trigger your body into thinking, you know, this is a nutritious thing. And your body doesn't want the same type of food all the time. You can't eat strawberries all day, every day, or chocolate, or milkshake, or whatever. You very soon get sick of it because your body needs different nutrients coming in. So it makes you sick of it. And I think that's why we like switching flavors so much. It's just our body's saying to us, you know, I can't live on kiwi cheesecake. Give me a different set of nutrients. Even though we're not getting nutrients, our taste buds and our brains kind of interpret it as nutrients, and we want a varied diet, basically.
Yeah. That's probably it. You know, if I eat, or you know, if I like a candy or a soda a lot, and I, you know, consume it a lot, I get sick of it quite quickly. You know, so what you're saying, Richard, is true. Guys, Moe just said that he might actually somewhere through the middle of the stream hop out, but then, you know, hop back in again. So yeah, just be wary of that. Guys, is there anything else, or do you guys want to just, you know, freaking do this?
I just want to give a quick shout out to my Berserker. It's my first official mouth to lung device. And from the pressure from the group, I felt like the odd man out, except for Richard, and gave into the Berserker. It took me about 2 or 3 days just to get the hang of it. It was the draw technique must be changed. But once we make that adjustment, just to have your draw, that tight draw, just to get the right amount and not overdo it like I'm used to a big RDA with huge airflows. So to adapt the airflow, the drawing technique slightly, I must say I'm quite enjoying it. I've done a 12 milligram batch and an 8 milligram, and I don't get those excessive hits that Dietz mentioned the other day. So I'm quite happy with the 8. The flavor, well, I was quite surprised with the flavor. Now it actually delivers flavor with that little quote. The whole build and design of the thing is really phenomenal, and it's taken some time, but I'm on it now. And one of the big things for me is the battery. Shit, I can go for 2 full days with a battery, no problem. Not chain vaping, but as an occasional 2 days, no problem with a big 21-700. It goes quite a while. So nice piece to have in the arsenal.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree. But it's weird. I mean, we're going to talk about smoking again now. But, you know, when I was, when I was introduced to vaping, I was introduced to a mouth to lung e-cig, right? And then I went into a shop and they just sold me a direct lung. I think it was, I can't even remember what it was. It was one of the first sub-ohms, really. And yeah, I had to direct lung that, and that was a massive adjustment for me. You know, it took me about a half a year to fully convert over to that device because it was just so unfamiliar to me. So I was dual using at that point in time. So ultimately, I'm actually a mouth to lung guy, you know. And when I discovered the Berserker, it was just a random buy. I just said in the group, I said, hey, is the Berserker good? Do you guys recommend it? 2 people said, and this is a WhatsApp group of ours, and 2 people said, yeah, dude, it's great. I bought it, and I enjoyed the mouth to lung from there. You know, from now, I mean, I use it in this here. I've got a 2700 battery in here. This thing is about 0.8 ohm, and I'm vaping at 18 watts. I can easily go for about 2 days.
Sure. Yeah, it's amazing. Really, really nice.
Yeah, guys. So let's hop into the testing. The first one from our concept show from last week was, you know, it was, you know, myself and Rudy spoke about it. It was Peach Orange Tropica. There was a V1 and a V2. Okay, so when I think I didn't actually, you know, name that correctly. Let's just call it 1 and 2, you know, because it's not really a V1 and a V2. It's 2 separate mixes. So the first one was Flavor West Orange Dream Bar, Flavora Peach and TFA Nectarine. Rudy, did you smash that one?
I smashed both of them. And if you were not to compare this to a Tropica, it would be an okay-ish tropical orange-based vape. So the good points are the peach, the Flavora peach. I was quite surprised at how authentic it is and how well it works in this recipe with the combination with the nectarine and the orange dream bar. So I thought the peach at 1% was a bit low, but it came out pretty well, and it's there, and it sits there, and it doesn't. And I'm glad that we chose this peach. It didn't go for peach juicy. It's a far more authentic peach, this, and it has an incredible juiciness to it, which I was rather surprised by. So a nice, juicy, fresh peach. The nectarine does what nectarine does, but both the orange dream bar version as well as the orange cream version, something didn't quite work there in the combination or the coming together of those 3 ingredients. So the nectarine and the orange is pretty similar in terms of profile, both being an orange, a citrus. But I think the citrus is too heavy, and if you compare it to a Tropica, it's more of a milder medley, and it is not a strong orange forward vape. And in here, this was very orange forward, and the orange dream bar, it's not the best version. The orange cream is definitely better, but it makes it very orange heavy. So if we want this to work, we need to drop it substantially, add a bit of cream. So I did in both versions, I added FA cream at 1%, but it lacks a sweetness. It lacks something sweet because the peach is sweetish, but it doesn't have that real nice creamy sweetness. So it definitely needs something. I was thinking maybe a sweet cream of sorts, or a marshmallow or something, just to add a little something. But the orange dominates, and the peach is there, but very, very faint. So I think the peach can be pumped up, the orange must be brought down, and the cream must be increased for it to get our final concept right. Other than that, it's nice, but it's not there. It needs a bit of work just to balance it out.
Okay, so I think Richard, you also tested out one of these, right?
Yeah. What I did is I kind of split the difference. I didn't have OG TFA orange cream because that's no fly. So I subbed that with TFA orange cream bar, which is the flyable version of orange cream. My notes are similar to Rudy's. This for me is an okay mix. It's the type of thing that if you wanted to mix up quickly, you could do it, and it's perfectly pleasant. I mean, there's no off notes or anything, but it's not a wow factor mix. And I would also agree with Rudy. It needs to be sweeter. For me, the orange isn't too much forward. That's maybe a difference between orange cream bar and orange cream.
Yeah.
The orange cream bar seems to be a little bit weaker, so the orange isn't that much forward. But for me, what it is, there isn't that kind of artificial, that bright, sweet, artificial note to it. It's maybe a little bit too authentic and citrusy, as Rudy says. It needs to be more kind of processed drink, like Tropica is, and have a little bit more of that kind of dairy notes in it. But my notes are very, very similar to Rudy's in that respect.
So my question is, guys, do you think, I mean, we should have gotten like an idea at this point in time if this concept, you know, just with those 3 flavors combined, if this is something that we need to take forward. Rudy, would you think we need to take this one forward, or do we can the whole idea, because there's many concepts here, right?
Yeah, I think so. Having made most of them except for the one, was I managed to stuff up my order and I didn't get the passion fruit in time. I think some of the others are better conceptually at this stage than this one. So I think let's go through the notes and what the guys think of the other mixes, because there's 1 or 2 euros there, and if there's no other agreement, I think we should put this on the list to be scrapped if there's nothing else that stands out. Because to get that, I also fear if we make the orange too artificial, then we're going to border on something that's gonna taste fake and probably disgusting. So let's put this on the maybe list to be scrapped, and let's look at the other euros and see if there's something stronger there.
Okay, so I'm gonna be testing live. You know, I think Liam is also going to be testing live. He might have been testing already, but the next one we need to talk about is Liam's concept here around mango, lychee, guava. The first one is FE mango, cap sweet lychee, FA lychee, and FLV pink guava. Liam, I'm going to be talking about this one, but have you tested this one out already?
No, I've just been prepping my coil, just trying to take any of the flavor off the wick, just trying to break in the cotton. So I'll be testing like same as you, Theo.
Mango, lychee. Sorry guys, I'm back. Hi. Mango, lychee, guava. 1 and 2.
Yeah. Yes.
It's the first pump for me. Both of them are good. Okay, so the version 1, which is the one I got in my tank now, and this is going to be my first vape for the day. But I'm going. It's very close to version 2, but that Frandy's lychee is the winner out of the 2, I'd say. Somehow I feel the mango needs to be bumped up a little bit. Immediately when you're vaping it, you're getting that pink guava. And this is where I figured that pink guava, FLV pink guava, is like really amazing. The lychee, you're definitely getting that. However, I think, and maybe you guys can give some feedback as well, with both of them, somehow I'm feeling that the FE mango is getting lost somewhere there. So it's right now, to me, I'm getting a lychee guava juice where I'm not tasting any mango. Maybe a bit of slight mango, but yeah, what do you guys think? What do you think? I'm gonna give it a couple of tries now as well.
Okay, so I just tested out the first one. So for me, the sweetness is there. You know, we probably don't have to add a lot of sweetness to it. It does vape slightly dry. and it feels slightly thin. However, the combinations of fruits are lovely, right? So it's just a matter of, I mean, the reason why we haven't at this point started throwing in marshmallows and creams and sweetener is just to get an idea of what the fruits are doing first, because once you start adding, you know, creams and stuff in there, you know, you're adding an extra layer of complexity, and you won't know what to pull back or add in. So, you know, I think it's always a good place to just start looking at the concept, you know, in its most simple form. And I think, you know, for me, this here is not a bad concept. We just have to figure out how to get the dryness. We could easily bang in a little bit of cactus, you know, just to make everything slightly more juicy. And yes, the mango is there, but it's slightly in the back. Effie mango at 3%. So if we're going to go forward with this concept, I think we need to bump the mango a little bit.
Is it the FLV pink guava that's the main reason for the dryness?
I actually think it might be the lychee, because
Okay.
Effie mango on its own is quite juicy. You know, I've tested it out. It could be the pink guava, or it could be the lychee. Yeah, Moe, you're right. It could be one of those two.
Yeah,
I'm vaping it now on the fresh week, and it's good. Yeah, it's very good.
Yeah, I'm with Moe. For the V1, the mango does need to go up a little bit. I'd possibly bump that up to about 4% just to get it coming through that bit more. The lychee is right. The lychee is nice for me. It's slightly juicy, not very floral at all. It's a lovely lychee. The pink guava is there. It's one of the main flavors, which I don't think we want. I think we want that as a background, so I don't know whether the pink guava might need to be dropped down a touch. And I think that might be the reason for the dryness as well. So dropping that down and raising up the Effie mango might actually give us more juiciness to it.
You know, that was a thought as well. What did we put? We put it at 0.75. And yeah, it really is bold at 0.75. Yeah.
But yeah, it has got a little bit of a thin mouth feel, so it does definitely need something in there to thicken it up, give her a little bit of a better mouth feel. Yeah, the flavors work. The flavors work well together, though.
Yeah, they definitely. It's a lovely vape.
Right, I'm just gonna wake up a second now for the. I did mix up the V2. I was missing a flavor for the V2.
Yes, I made both. The only difference I found using the Friendly's Lychee, the V1 using Cap Sweet Lychee and FA Lychee, the combination for me, it's a fuller Lychee and it's got a little bit more body. The Friendly's Lychee is beautiful, however, it's a little bit thin. So you get a very crisp, fresh lychee, but it's not a full lychee. So it's still a nice lychee, but there's a little something missing. And I think even if you add the 0.5 FA to the Friendly, it'll just bump it that little bit just to give it that extra body. In addition, so I agree with everything that you guys said. It does need a little bit of something now. I'm thinking, and I know it might be a little bit controversial, it's not everybody likes it, is to add a touch of papaya. So papaya, a TPA papaya at maybe 1% or 0.5%.
You know that stuff. I'm laughing.
Because it adds that little, so it just brings that extra dimension. You've got the two sweetnesses, you've got the dryness, you've got the wetness, and this little bitterness that it brings might just the thing that tie it all together, and it's got a beautiful mouthfeel. That is an option that I just want to throw out there to maybe take this one to the next level, just to make it that full tropical flavor. As it is, it's nice. It just needs a little something just to push it forward.
As much as I dislike papaya. I can actually agree with you on that.
Yeah.
Even at 0.5, I think it's gonna lift everything, even the mango, give it that juiciness. I've personally done it. I know when we were in the chat, and everybody was just like saying about papaya and stuff like that, and it works actually. Yeah.
Guys, so what TFA papaya 0.5%. I made a version 1.2 and a version 1.1, right? Both of them I bumped up the FE mango to 4%. Yeah, I kept the lychees the same, and I dropped the pink guava to 0.5. And then with the one version, I just added TFA papaya 0.5. So, I mean, I think this concept, you know, probably the next stage of this is we need to think about, you know, how do we build body into this new version?
Yeah. Liam has a few tricks up his sleeve with adding body. What do you suggest?
For this one, because it doesn't need smoothing, I wouldn't go for the fresh cream approach, the 1/4% fresh cream. I'd be tempted to drop a little bit of you'd either put a little bit of FLV mango in there just to thicken up the mouthfeel, but we don't want to go taking away from the FE mango. So the best option would probably be like 0.5% of marshmallow. It'll just bump that sweetness up a little bit as well. Give you a slightly
your view on the papaya? But I mean, is this just my comment? It's by no ways.
Papaya isn't one that I've actually tried yet, so that's I'll go with your suggestion on that, Rudy, and that's definitely something worth trying if you think it's worth trying.
Okay, so the V1.1, I said we'll just add in TFA marshmallow at 0.5, right? And then the V2, or not the V2, the other one, the V1.2, we just add in TFA papaya at 0.5. You know, I tried it out just now again, and you know, initially I was getting it felt a little bit thin, but as you know, as I don't know, it burnt in a little bit, the coil, because it's a fresh wick, it felt like there was a little bit more body. So I think just that marshmallow or you know, the papaya, something else will just
or
both, you know, is gonna complete this recipe. I don't think we need
let's
to
go with both.
Yeah, let's go with both. Let's.
Are we doing both in both versions, or are we just doing it on version 1? Because it seems like we're focusing a lot on version 1 than version 2.
Oh, what Rudy was saying is he doesn't believe that there's a major, you know, advantage with using Frandy's lychee over Cap Sweet lychee, you know, in this mix. So yeah, it might be a fresher lychee, but you know, we're still gonna sit with the same thing. You know what I mean?
Correct.
Somewhat the same thing. So let's do this, okay? We take the TFA marshmallow at 0.5 and then the TFA papaya at 0.5, and we call it a day for that idea, that concept. Okay.
There's a suggestion or two in the chat here. If you just want to have a look there, there's a couple of suggestions to also add a bit of body. Either a bit of hibiscus, oba, or tangerine, or a touch of pomegranate, perhaps, as another option.
I think oba, and I'm not sure about hibiscus. I haven't tried hibiscus from a body perspective, but oba will definitely help out, I think. The papaya is going to add a ripeness to the FE mango. You know, that's really what I think it's going to do. So you're just going to get a more ripe mango, I believe.
But oba, you don't go too high, isn't? You go like 0.3 or 0.5.
Yeah, drop her in at like 0.5. It'll give
0.5, yeah.
a little bit of body. You might get a little bit of vanilla taste sort of bleeding into the mix. As for hibiscus, I've never used hibiscus to actually add body. It's a decent idea. I normally use it to create syrups or jellies, and you do get, if you use it low enough, you don't actually get any of the floral, but you do still get some of that sweet berry taste bleeding into a mix. So I normally use it with berries.
Okay, so are you guys suggesting we go with Oba Oba? So I made one variation with marshmallow and TFA papaya, and one variation with marshmallow and Oba Oba.
Good.
FA Oba Oba. Shall we go with 1% Oba Oba?
No.
Why don't we? Why don't you include the papaya as well? But do the next variation with papaya, marshmallow, and Oba. Is that too much?
Yeah, I think it's too much.
Too much, eh?
Yeah, if we make too many changes to the mix, it's hard to keep track of what's actually
Working, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, guys, I think we're done with that one. I've got version 1.1 and version 1.2. You know, so we can test that out. We can talk about it in the next show. But so we've got body in there. We've thought about a little bit of sweetness. The marshmallow will help out if there's any, harshness. But none of these. I mean, the only harshest thing I can think about is the pink guava, the citrus note in there. But it isn't a problem at all for me, and I'm quite sensitive to it. So I don't think we have to worry about that. The next one was from Moe. It's mango cocoa pine. We've got a 1 and a 2. I've got it here as well. Moe, have you tried that one? The version 1 with Effie mango, VTA sugar loaf, FLV sweet coconut, and TFA coconut candy.
Okay, so I didn't get FLV sweet coconut. So I tried both versions without the FLV sweet coconut. So version 1, okay. I don't know if I should be so honest. I wasn't too happy with it, with version 1. I didn't get that proper mango pineapple that I was looking for. Sugarloaf is a really good mango. Sugarloaf is a very good pineapple. But it's just not, it just didn't, I don't know, it just didn't blend well. I didn't vape a lot of it, so I can't really give the craziest review. As well as for version 2, which I actually like better than version 1. But that was with the Mullenberry pineapple. I think maybe okay, so I don't know who vaped it with the FLV sweet coconut. They can maybe tell us more, but like I said, I didn't vape enough of it to be too rave about it too much.
Yeah, I just tested it out. I like the Effie mango and VTA sugarloaf combination. I just think the VTA sugarloaf is overpowering the mango a little bit, so it needs to come down. The coconuts were kind of lost in there. But I'm not hating the idea of pineapple and mango. This really works. Those two fruits, I mean, it's a pairing that works. You know what I mean? There's a lot of commercial juices out with that, and I think this is a beautiful pineapple.
I was also disappointed that the Effie mango is getting lost there with the pineapple. So, and I think, sorry, I don't have the recipe in front of me. What was the Effie mango at? I can't remember. Was it at 4? So at 4%, it was a bit disappointing. It just meant that VT loaf was the main player here, was basically the main guy.
Yeah, So I mixed up the version with FLV sweet mango and TFA coconut candy, and I'm kind of digging it. There is a little bit of, what stays, I mean, up front, you just get these top notes, and it's just mango and just pineapple, right? And then after the vape is finished, you get like, oh, there's a little bit of coconut there, So if you really want
The coconut is
the coconut there, I think potentially we drop the VTA Sugarloaf to 2%, right? So it balances out with the mango, so that you get like a combination of those fruits. And then we need to bring up the coconut in here. I don't want to hit that coconut candy any harder than 1%. I'll rather bump the FLV sweet coconut up. Has anybody else tried this mix?
Yeah, I'm testing this one at the moment. I'm getting the mango there, but the pineapple is right up there with it as well. So it just kind of takes away a little bit from it. So I agree that the Sugarloaf needs to be dropped down a little bit just to allow that mango to shine. I'm enjoying the combination, and the FLV sweet coconut and the coconut candy really play well together. They play really well together. It gives it a nice thick mouthfeel. Lot of body to this mix. Slightly milky coconut, but it's right in the background. I mean, we could bump her up a little bit. The coconut candy, as you said, is fine at 1%. If we were to bump up the FLV sweet coconut, I'd bump it up to 0.75. Was it at 0.75 already, or 0.5?
It's at 1.
The FLV sweet coconut. I mean,
I've got it at 1.
Oh, I've tried it at coconut candy at 1 and FLV sweet coconut at 0.5.
Ah, okay.
Yeah.
So I made V2. Are we on? We're not talking about V2 yet.
We're still on V1 at the moment, I believe.
V1, okay. I didn't make V1. I made V2.
I'd possibly bump up the FLV sweet coconut to 0.75, but we'll find out now when we go over V2 to see what Rudy thought of it a little bit higher. But it's a nice combination. The flavors do work well together. They just need some balancing.
It is a nice combination. Like you said, balancing. Perfect. Yeah. I'm actually going to try V2 now as well.
Okay, so I'm bumping it up to 0.75. I'm dropping the Sugarloaf Pine to 2%, right? And let's see what happens, guys. I think there's a gap in the middle here. So there's something missing in the middle, because the coconuts are reading right at the bottom, and these two fruits are right at the top. So we need to stick something in the middle of this. You know what I mean? Maybe some vanilla swirl. Yeah. I think Van Swirl will fill out the dead spots quite nicely in here. Okay, so I'm going to add that in. Rudy, why don't you take us through the second one with Funky Pineapple?
Yeah. So Funky Pineapple is peculiar. So it's a mixture of various pineapples, and it's neither strong nor weak. It's neither authentic nor fake or artificial. It's got sort of this in-between pineapple flesh vibe to it, but it lacks a bit of the texture of some of the other pineapples. It is a fresh pineapple, but it's a weakened fresh pineapple, and I'm scared. So in here, it sits just there. It doesn't overpower the mango at all, but it's a little bit thin, I think. But if we were going to bump this up from 3 to 4, I think it might overpower the mango even more. So I was suggesting or thinking perhaps, I think this vanilla swirl definitely help it, but it needs a little bit of authenticness, either with a cap pineapple, but I'm not sure that's the right one. Perhaps a bit of Inawera, but it's got that metallic taste to it that might influence it. The coconut here, so I went straight with 1% coconut candy and 1% sweet coconut, the Flavora sweet coconut, and it's beautiful. So it doesn't dominate at all. It's there. There's no suntan lotion vibe happening. It's just right. The combination of the two here, I think the levels are correct at 1% each. The Iffy Mango is present, but I've come to realize now that I think Iffy Mango likes to be on its own. It doesn't play well with other fruits if it's not the Euro. So if it works very well in the cream by itself, it works very nice in the custard by itself, it works very nice as a single flavor and perhaps a slightly less dominant fruit. So pineapple can be very, very dominant. And as soon as you put something with it that is strong, it loses its essence completely. So it has to remain the Euro here. And the pineapple is the tricky one now. And I think the vanilla swirl might be able to bridge that gap just to pull it together. But the coconut element here is perfect. I won't go any higher or lower on any of the two there. Mango is perfect. It's just the funky pineapple needs a little bit of refinement with the addition of a little bit of something. I'm not sure what it is. But I enjoyed it. It's really, really nice.
Okay, so Papa Chigley, you also looked at the combination of FLV sweet coconut and FA coconut. So I just want to hear what your thought was on that combination. You know, because we can create a variation with that for sure. Okay, so I'm going to, in this version 2.1, or actually I'm going to create a version here called 2.1, and what I'm going to do is I'm just going to put in a little bit of vanilla swirl to and then we can look at you know, if this is reading better or not. Let me just type that out. That was Rudy. Okay, so added the TFA vanilla swirl. I'm going to go in at 1.5%. Is that too high?
Sounds good.
Sounds good, yeah.
Okay. All right, then the next one here. Yes.
I just testing this V2 now. I see what you're saying about the funky pineapple, Rudy.
Yeah.
It's a really nice pineapple, but it's a lot brighter than the Sugarloaf. A lot brighter.
Yeah.
It's coming across more of the tinned pineapple in syrup, like the pineapple rings, instead of the fresh pineapple. So I'm wondering if it would play well with the Sugarloaf. Just adding like 0.5% of the Sugarloaf to it would actually bring it back into a more realistic one without having the Sugarloaf dominate.
So basically layer the pineapples, put 5% Sugarloaf in the version 2. Is that what you mean?
Yeah.
Okay. Sounds interesting.
Yeah, the other pineapples, as we're saying, the other pineapples, Inawera and even the cap, I don't think they're the right type of pineapple for this. I haven't tasted the Sugarloaf yet. I'm not familiar with it, so I'm just adding it to my cart now. So I think that's a good call to combine the two, just to give it that fullness.
What did we have the funky pineapple at in that mix?
It was at 3.
Okay, so if we're going to layer the two, you know, how would we do that? Because of course we don't want it to overshadow the mango, and the mango is close to its peak. I mean, you can't put it higher than 5.
I was thinking funky pineapple 2.5.
Yeah.
And drop the sugar loaf in at 0.5, 0.75, because we don't want a lot of that sugar loaf taste in there. We just want to bring the funky pineapple back into a fresh pineapple.
Mm.
Okay.
I think with pineapples generally you've got to go 2. There's no single one that does it on its own that I've tasted at any rate.
Mm.
Okay, so Papa Chigley was saying it's my go-to combo and it holds up in a mix with other concentrates. Okay, guys, so I'm going to add that variation for Papa Chigley in here. This was, so I'm going to create another variation, and I'll go and get FA coconut. I might actually have it. So he used FLV sweet coconut. I think it was at 1.75%. 1.75.
Yeah.
1.75, and FA coconut he used at 0.75. Okay, so I've created that, and then I'll go and test that out, Papa Chigley. You will also have to test this out with the entire mix, so that we can see how everything goes together, but I'll definitely go and check this out. All right, guys, I've created that. I will share all of this information. I will share at the end in the description so that everybody can see what I've created. I just need a little bit of time just to clean it up a little bit. But here we are now at this one I didn't test, guys. I'm going to test out the mango, orange, passion fruit, and guava. Who has tested out Dietz's honeydew banana guava?
I did. Let me just remind myself. I had it this morning. Where is it now? And oh yeah, let me put it on quick. But from what I can recall, the honeydew. Oh yeah. So the honeydew is very, very dominant, and it sort of kills everything else. I mean, it even kills the Flavora pink guava at 1.5. So the pink guava is there, but very slight. So the honeydew overpowers it completely, even at 2%. All you can taste is a lingering honeydew flavor. The banana cream is almost non-existent. If you had to close your eyes and vape it, you would never know that there's even a touch of banana in there. The honeydew, unfortunately, due to its nature, is a bully of note, and it also lingers, and it sits in the coil for a month. So the combination on paper looks all right, but unfortunately, it doesn't translate well. It's overpowering. So the honeydew must either be dropped, or the combination must be dropped, because I'm not sure if it's working. So banana, honeydew, and guava as a natural combination, I don't think in my head it doesn't really gel. It's not something that you would be familiar with, even in a fruit salad. I don't think it would work. So it's very, very honeydew forward. Banana, there's nothing. So either the banana must be complemented with a bit of banana puree. The honeydew dropped by 1%, and the guava left by itself, but then it needs body, because honeydew by itself, I mean, and even the guava, I mean, they're thin. Honeydew is particularly thin, so it definitely needs something, or it must be scrapped. This is one of the least favorite ones that I did. There is potential, but I don't know. I'm struggling with this one.
Okay.
That's all I've got on it.
Okay, I've got that. So let's move past that one. It's also on the maybe list, maybe drop out. Then we've got The last one, I'm not sure who mixed this up. I think it's me and Liam. Mango, orange, passion fruit, and guava. I just tasted it now. The mango is lost for me. However, this mix is very juicy on its own. It doesn't need us to add any more cactus or anything in here. It's I find it very juicy. However, there's a slight harshness to it. I think that's potentially coming from either the passion fruit or it's coming from the royal orange. The orange note in there is extremely authentic. So, Richard, thank you so much for suggesting that one. I think, with a little bit of balancing, adding some sweetener here and a slight tad of body, I think this will definitely be, something different. It definitely transcends for me.
I'm just preparing my my cot in a second. I'm just gonna break it in a little bit, and then I'm gonna drip the one that I mixed up then, and see let you know my notes.
Okay, so I'll tell you what I'm going to do on my side. I'm going to, while Liam is busy there, I'm going to bump the FE mango to 4.5%. I'm going to drop the passion fruit to 1.5%. Keep the royal orange where it is. The guava is, I think we can take the guava out here because, the original, I don't taste any guava in it. The main players for me is mango, passion fruit, and orange. Then I want to add in some body here. So I'm going to, I'm thinking about potentially just a little bit of jelly candy, because the original of this is, is a fruit drink. Well, it's a monster drink called Mucho Loco. I don't have a can here to show you. So it is quite sweet, and I think a little bit of jelly candy will just texturize it nicely. So cap jelly candy. I'm going to add that at maybe at, let's say 0.75, or let's actually go with, let's go with 0.5 to start with. And I'm going to add some super sweet in here as well. Super sweet, and I'm going to add that at 0.3, of course. But yeah, I'm thinking this is definitely, I'm a little overexposed here on camera. So I've done mango at 4.5%, right? It's almost at its cap now. VTA yellow passion at 1.5%, and FA royal orange at 0.75, cap jelly candy at 0.5, and super sweet at 0.3. And I think we'll call it a day on that one. That's my feedback on that one.
I'm not actually getting any harshness, but then I think I've actually got a throat that's asbestos lined, because I don't really get any harshness from anything that anybody says is harsh. But that passion fruit to me, it needs to go down a little bit. It's the first thing you smell as well when you open up the bottle. You open up the bottle and that passion fruit just hits you. I agree with the FE mango going up and the orange juice going down a little bit. The orange juice is really good, and yeah, the juiciness is there. But I think that was one of the dangers of mixing orange with mango, is they can tend to run together. And if you don't get that balance quite right, it does kill off the mango. Because I found that a lot of the mangoes I've tested do have a little bit of orange in the background, or orange notes. The same with passion fruits. A lot of the passion fruits for me also have a very slight orange notes in the background, so that they just all blend together, boost up the orange, and bye mango. So yeah, if you're getting harshness, Theo, then I should imagine that other people will also get harshness from this. So the jelly candy added in should help. Yeah, I'm with you on all of those changes, to be honest.
Okay, cool. Yeah, so I've got that all written down. Just looking, sorry guys, haven't looked at chat. Papa Chigley, Island Mango from Wonder Flavors. Yeah, I've tried Shisha Mango. I'm not, I think FE Mango is juicier. So for this specific application, I don't have Island Mango. I really want to try it. But for this specific application, because it's a juice, I think FE is perfect. So, you know, we'll go with that one. If I can get my hands on Island Mango, I'll definitely try that out. So BBXX2000 and saying it's the passion fruit that might do, you know, the harshness in there with VTA yellow passion. So we dropped that down, BBXX2000XX. So we dropped that down to 1.5%. The jelly candy and the super sweet might just round that off slightly. And we'll end up with, you know, something a little bit sweeter, not so harsh.
I'll just jump in a second and answer Papa Chigley, because I've actually tried the VT Shisha Mango, and the Island Mango from Wonder Flavors. I actually think they probably work quite well together, because the VT Shisha Mango is a lot fleshier than the Wonder Flavors Island Mango. The Island Mango is very juicy with slight flesh hints, so I think they'd actually complement each other quite well. I'd actually go in at the if you wanted to use it in a mix, I'd go in at the either at a 1-to-1 ratio. Trying to remember what they tasted like, because the VT Shisha is quite strong, so I go in at a 1-to-1 ratio, give that a try. If not, that's a little bit too much, go in at half of the Island Mango, 3/4 of the Island Mango to the VT Shisha.
Back to Theo at the studio.
Oh, sorry, man. I didn't know I was muted. Liam, are you saying 1% Wonder Flavors Island Mango? Or what are you saying? I know you're saying 1-to-1, but what shall we start off with the Wonder Flavors Island Mango?
I think in this mix, I think the FE Mango is right for this mix. I was just answering generally for Papa Chigley's comment, if you wanted to use them in a different mix.
Okay. Yeah. So Papa Chigley is saying there 2-to-1 ratio he uses it. I'll definitely go and test that out, Papa Chigley, if I can find Wonder Flavors Mango. Thank you so much for throwing that out there. Guys, yeah, TFA Mango, no, I don't think it's going to do that well here. I think FE is juicier. You know, if we're looking at tropical fruit juice, Socrates Cab Driver, have you tried FE Mango? If you have, you know, you should definitely give that a go. Raw yellow mango, yes. I've tried that mango, but you know, it doesn't play well with other fruits. It just disappears. However, it is the right mango from a flavor perspective for Muchos Loco, that Monster Energy drink. That's the first one I actually reached for in a previous attempt mixing this up. It's got that ripeness to it that drink has. Philippine mango, yeah, too much pip for me for a juice, you know. So I don't know. I think we'll leave it at that. Let's try this combination, FE mango at 4.5 and VTA passion fruit at 1.5, and FA Royal Orange at 0.5, with some cap jelly candy and super sweet. I think, you know, we should end up with a pretty decent mix. Okay, guys, just to wrap it up.
Just before, just for that, the second option. So Wonder Flavors Mango is not available locally. So
okay.
you won't be able to do that combo. We don't have it at all here.
All right. So yes, you know, we'll have to throw that out to somebody in chat. Go look at this mango orange passion fruit mix of ours and see what it does with island mango in it. You know, with VTA passion fruit and FA Royal Orange. If you can, you know, bring that information to the next round of this, I'll really appreciate it. I'm throwing that out. Guys, so we are going forward pretty much then with Liam's Mango Lychee Guava, okay, with Mohammed's Mango Coco Pine, and with this Mango Orange Passion Fruit, those three.
Yeah, it sounds sensible.
Yeah, good. Awesome. We're obviously tweaking it and fine-tuning it. But
Yeah.
looking
Guys,
good so far.
yeah, it is looking good. I think we've got some you know, some good tropical realness happening right there. We've pretty much come to the end of the show, guys. Thanks so much for hanging out with us. This was a difficult one because, you know, everybody has notes. I'm going to go through chat again, and if I did miss your comments, I'm going to add it into the notes and onto the description for this video. Thank you so much for everybody's contribution. Liam, can you just pop a mixologist link into chat, guys? If you're not part of the mixologist group yet, please go and join. That's the local South African group, and we would happily have you there. A couple of shout outs. So Daytime Frank, which is in chat, lovely channel. He's going to have a show. I think it's in about 2 hours. Then we've got Fresho3. I think he's on leave at the moment. He's moving. So his channel might not have that much content, but he's got content coming out all the time. A lot of live shows. Good channel. DIY Down Under. Go check out their channel. Developed, the pioneers of group mixing or team mixing. And then the Mixin' Vixen, guys. Go check out those channel. Then I finally just want to end off with, the terrible news that we got from within the community. Kind Ground, aka Philip, you know, he's got stage 4 cancer and he's going through chemo and radiation right now. There's going to be a stream where you know, there's going to be a couple goodies raffled off and you can buy raffle tickets, that kind of thing. There's also a GoFundMe. If somebody has that GoFundMe, please pop it into the chat. Otherwise, I'm going to add it to the description of all the videos going forward. But yeah, we just want to add some love, you know, to the cause, and it's for a good cause. And our hearts go out to him and his family. Okay, guys, remember to like the video and subscribe and help us out get to the end of this tropical fruit juice quest or journey that we are on now. And lastly, thank you for joining us, guys.
Great. Cheers.
Cheers. Thanks, guys. Thanks, everyone. Bye.
Thanks all.
So,
Bye.
bye.
Cheerio.